everybody. Welcome back to Love, Lust, and Red Flags. This is where we talk about all the different signs, what the astrology is affecting, and how you can maximize your relationships. If it's your first time here, I'm Annabelle. I'm a tarot practitioner, psychic, and astrology student as of this year. And I want to bring some clarity to the relationships that you have. So what we're going to look at is the current love and relationship conditions according to astrology. We're going to look at what's coming in, what you should hide from, what to manipulate. And we have a little bonus section. If you're dating one of the signs or you're involved with one of the signs, how to effectively utilize your strengths in that relationship. So we're going to break down each element. If you're enjoying this relationship contact, don't forget that Wednesdays at 9 p.m. New York time, Barney of the Barnosphere and I are going to be looking at questions for you on our show, Love in the End Times. We discuss modern dating, relationships, red flags, and most importantly, your questions. So we're going to look at some celebrities, talk about that, and then we're going to look at your questions. You can send them in via email, but tune in tonight and you'll see what we do there. It's a great crowd that's been forming over there. Let's get into the astrology of the week before we start talking about the individual signs. So right now, Venus is moving through Leo. Everybody knows Venus is the planet of love, and everyone knows that Leos can be a little bit full of themselves. They're super enthusiastic, and they are very bold, and they are very clear about what they want and they don't want. This connection astrologically creates this collective desire to be noticed, appreciated, pursued, and adored. So there's a lot of main character energy that's going on right now. So I want everybody just to take a step back. Everybody wants romance. Everybody wants passion. People want validation. But at the same time, Venus is also hanging on her back a little bit of that dreamy Neptune energy. Remember, Neptune is the planet of dreams and kind of fantasy, and we're kind of waxing poetic. The good news is that romance is alive and willing and able. But the bad news is some people may be falling in love with potential versus reality. So that is something I want everybody to pay close attention to. Don't worry, Barney and I are going to cover like the hazards and the pitfalls of dating via astrology in one of our future episodes. We're going to have some fun with it, where I'm going to bring a little bit of my flavor to our collaboration. So we're also feeling a lot of effects from the Gemini new moon. And I talked about this in my live yesterday. Communication is everything right now. Text messages, phone calls, social media interactions, PMs, DMs, all of that stuff. Dating apps specifically. People who communicate clearly this weekend are much likely to do better. So speak truth and you're going to be okay. Those who expect people to read their minds are going to be in a little bit of trouble. You can't suggest what you want. You actually have to say it in a polite, kind, nice way. So Mercury is also moving through Cancer, which makes conversations a lot more emotional, which could create some issues with that. Logical is better. Step back and try and discern what you are trying to explain, and then figure out a really effective way to say it. It's really, really important. Expect nostalgia to come along with Mercury moving through Cancer. Cancers like me, we're very nostalgic. We like old things. We like sentimental things. So just remember that conversations will lean more emotional because of that. Expect a lot of memories, expect old feelings to resurface. And yes, some of you may hear from some exes who are starting to get emotional about regrets of the past. So we'll talk about the individual signs, what to do if some of that happens. We're also at the end of this video going to talk about who is more likely to have that happen. So stay tuned for that. Let's jump into our fire signs. So Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Overall, the fire signs love conditions It's going to be hot this weekend. Not temperature hot, but it is going to be hot. All of you are really going to be affected by that Venus in Leo. It's going to feed your natural confidence. It's going to have people be attracted to you. It's going to shine a light on you. You're going to be lit up by that firelight. You may be more interested in the chase than the actual person. So I want you to just be careful about toying with the emotions of others. So pay close attention at the end of each section. I'm going to say, if you're dating this other sign, pay close attention to that and just make sure that you're not leading a weepy Cancer down the wrong path, or you're taking advantage of a Pisces who's kind of getting into the mix here. Aries, you guys want movement, you want answer, you don't want games. Leo, you guys, very typical. You want admiration, you want affection, you want somebody scratching you behind the ear, and you want somebody who applauds and appreciates all of your efforts. So maybe tone down that expectation just a little bit if you're with someone who's a little less sensitive and astute. Sagittarius, you guys always adventurers. You want adventure and freedom. You want possibility. You don't want confirmation. You want people to kind of say, this is what we could do. Maybe we'll go on an adventure. So what's coming for Aries? Aries, we're going to have fast moving attraction. Some of you may experience people who are going to make the first move, and they're going to be much, much more attractive to you. It's Leo, like attention, recognition, potential admirer. You want somebody standing off, looking at you and trying to get your attention. Just be careful of that. Now, Leos, you all are sinking really, really deeply into the natural proclivities of a Leo. You guys want that too. But make sure that you're not building a cult. I'm just going to say that. Don't build any cults. We don't need that. Sagittarius, you guys have some travel connections, long distance opportunities. If you have a former admirer that calls you up and says, hey, meet me down here, meet me over here, just consider it, because you are poised for some unexpected invitations. So what should these guys hide from? What should my fire signs hide from? Aries, look out for love bombing. Okay. We've got all that Leo energy that's coming in. So Aries, you guys are going to be susceptible to individuals who are really, I'm sorry, sucking up to you, trying to make you feel great, trying to really, get in there and get in deep. So just be careful about that. Be judicious in how you deal with people. Leo, you guys should be very careful of flattery without substance. Yeah, like Stephen Eady. Don't do that. Those kinds of things are going to leave you feeling like the bubbles all went out of your seltzer water, that it's just going to be like, meh. And you run the potential of actually hurting individuals who are trying to get your attention and trying to get your affection in the wrong manner. So just make sure that you don't have some payback that's going to happen like in the fall when a relationship kind of bottoms out. So Sagittarius, people are going to plan commitment with you. So those great adventures that you're going to go on, they're going to sit under the tree with you and plan out the trip and plan out all the stuff. And then at the last minute, they're going to say, oh, dude, I got a dentist appointment. I can't go. So, just be mindful of those kinds of individuals that are really, really gung-ho and want to come along with your exciting, great ideas, because they may not follow it through all the way to the end. So what to manipulate for this weekend, for the remaining balance of the weekend, for the weekend? Aries, manipulate timing. Leo, manipulate your visibility. Sometimes you need to pull back. You can't be on the stage all the time. Sagittarius, you need to manipulate mystery. So if somebody says, hey, let's go on this great adventure, I want you to say, I'm going to think about it. I might do it. So here's our bonus section, what to do if you are dating one of these fire signs. With Aries, be really, really direct with them. Make sure that you tell them exactly what's going on and be truthful. Don't over promise. So salespeople, listen to me. Don't over promise to your Aries. Leos appreciate the Leo openly and again, authentically. Like, don't suck up to them and yeah, Steve, that's going to be great. Make sure that you do it legitimately. If you can't, don't even get involved, because Leos are a big energy. They are a lot to carry. Not bad. I've dated a few Leos and they're actually kind of cool. Dating Sagittarius, don't smother them. Don't tell them, oh, we can't go on that trip because it's going to be expensive. It's going to be take too long to get there. Don't do that, because they are going to just be disappointed with that. So certainly don't smother them. Don't placate them. Don't talk about it, be about it. So if you're going to jump in with the Sagittarius, make sure that you have the gas in your tank to go the distance. Fire sign winner of the week is going to be Leo. Fire sign X alert is Aries. Aries, you guys are the ones that may get the phone call from the X. Let's jump right over to our air sign. So we're going to be talking now for the next few minutes about the love forecast and relationship forecast for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And remember, these readings that I'm doing, or these explanations of the astrology that I'm doing, can apply not only to romantic relationships, but work relationships, interpersonal relationships, your friendships, your best friends. These can all affect us. It doesn't have to be a primary personal relationship. So the air sign love conditions right now, the Gemini new moon really is still affecting you. It is still beating into you. Your love life is being shaped by conversation. So it's important what is said, but it's also important what's not said and what is misunderstood and what is misrepresented. So if you are one of these air signs and you have somebody that you think is feeding you a bunch of hooey and a lot of gaslighting lines, like, take a step back and just kind of check it out, because communication and that Gemini new moon is really pushing for good communication, and it's disrupting the squirrely communication that comes through. So let's start with, who are we starting with? Love conditions for Gemini. We'll start with Gemini. You guys are curious but restless. So you may be scrolling through your contacts in your phone going, I really like dating so-and-so. I think that maybe I need to shake up my world. This is the short path to getting into a repeat, an extended dance remix with a bad partner. So I want you guys to be really careful. Again, it applies to bosses, co-workers, partnerships in work, those kinds of things. So don't let your restlessness fuel a curiosity that could get you into some trouble. Libra, as always, you guys are seeking balance. You're seeking, a little bit of fantasy, a little bit of logic. You're seeking the good with the bad. You like the push and pull. Go join a debate team and have some fun with that. Don't bring it to your personal relationships unless you're going to be really judicious about it. You guys typically can lean into that. The energy around the air signs, though, with that new moon and communication really pushing you guys along. I want you to make sure that you take the time to discern what's true, what's not, what fits, what doesn't. Aquarius, you guys are detached on the surface. You're playing it very aloof, but you're super observant underneath. So a little bit of hermit energy here. You guys are collecting data so that you can examine it and exploit it later. Good on you. I like this kind of energy for our Aquarians out there. What is coming up for Gemini? You guys are getting a lot of messages. Libra, you're getting invitations. Aquarius, friendships are becoming attraction. So Aquarius, remember, you're detached on the surface and observant underneath. So maybe some of those friendships are becoming something else. Just make sure you're careful about it, okay? So what are you all going to be hiding from? Gemini, hide from mixed signals. If somebody is giving you mixed signals, I want you to just take a pause from them. Take a big step back and make sure that you're not reacting on those mixed messages. It can be very frustrating when someone's giving you a little push and pull. And I want you not to flare up, because Gemini, you guys can flare up like that. Libra, indecision. It's not suited for your sign. It is not good for your sign. If you're dealing with people that are indecisive, or if you feel indecisive, don't make a decision by default. Just don't be like, well, it's not going to make a difference. Aquarius, emotionally unavailable partners. Remember what I said. You guys, there may be friendships that are becoming more attractive. You may be more interested in some individuals. Make sure that you're not farming individuals and relationships that will not go the distance. We want a little bit of meat on the bone for the summer for you guys. So what can these signs manipulate? Gemini, you can manipulate communication. I am going to stress, do not react immediately. Use a little bit of logic, borrow some of it from Libra, and discuss with yourself before you respond to certain things. Libra, manipulate your charm. You guys don't use your charm enough. You're not coquettish and coy enough. So sprinkle a little bit of that into your weekend. Aquarius, respect boundaries. Again, I'm going to highlight that you may have a friendship that you're considering converting into something else. If it's a friend zone relationship, you're considering bringing it into the romance zone. So I want you to make sure that if there are hard boundaries up, that you respect those and you keep those in place. It's going to serve you best. So what do you do if you're dating one of these signs? All right. So if you're dating a Gemini, keep things interesting with them. They get bored a little bit quickly. Keep it interesting. Little surprises this weekend are going to be great. Make sure your messaging is clear. Remember, they're like a little foggy on what's right and what's wrong. Libra, avoid unnecessary conflicts. Keep yourself at that nice counterpoint balance. And we have Aquarius, respect others' independence. Again, if you're trying to convert a friendship into a relationship, avoid conflicts and trying to respect the independence, and don't try and convert those that don't seem to be too willing to convert. This isn't your time to convince someone to come along with you. So who is our air sign winner? It is Libra. Libra is winning. It seems like they have the easiest time. And the X alert, Gemini, it's you, Gemini. Do not go through the X's. Don't pull them into your world, and certainly don't allow them into your world. So I want you to just be a little bit careful about that. So, guys, we are going to flip it over to our water signs. So let's talk water signs for the weekend. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. I am looking at you. This is my team water sign. Overall love conditions for the water signs this weekend. Mercury is in Cancer, and I said that a little bit earlier. So it's amplifying our emotions. It's making us feel everything. The challenge is distinguishing, again, your intuition from fantasy or the stuff that you want. So all of the water signs have really, really good intuitions. That's not saying that the rest of the signs don't, but our water signs are a bit more astute, a bit more naturally psychic and sensitive and empathic. So make sure that you're not building a castle in the sky and then attaching signs and things like that. I know if somebody texts you at 11:11, sometimes you go, ooh, I get more excited if they text me at 2:22. Just be careful about the signs that you see. Current love conditions, Cancer, you guys are seeking safety. So We like to be protected and in our home. We carry our home on our back, our little shell. And you really need to stay with the people that you have concrete relationships with, no fantasy relationships. If you are dancing on the edge of a relationship with an individual, make sure that you lean into your tribe, your ride or die girls, your sidekick buddies, like whatever. Make sure that you stick with the relationships that are secure and safe for you. Scorpio, you guys are seeking trust, and you guys are a little bit suspicious by nature, Scorpios. You always are trying to figure out the mystery, what's going on, what somebody really wants from you. So you're seeking trust. It may be a little bit hard if you are hanging out with some different type individuals. So just give yourself some grace on that, and don't freak out if you find that individuals disappoint you in terms of trustworthiness. Pisces, you guys are seeking emotional connections, and that's something that Pisces does all the time. But remember that you guys, sometimes when you get that emotional connection, you swim off in the other direction. You're like, oh, I'm feeling too much. So just make sure that, again, like Cancer, like Scorpio, I want you to stick with the individuals that you trust in the relationships that are forged and fully formed. So what's coming in for all of us? Cancer, you've got meaningful conversations coming up. So that Gemini new moon is starting to do you a solid right now in its wake, because it's really the effects that's mainly kind of evaporated for most of us. So meaningful conversations, make sure that you don't get super, super emotional and start to go down some other paths and start to layer on more information about that meaningful conversation. We have a tendency to do that. Scorpio, what's coming in for you? Powerful attraction. So be careful about that. Again, we're looking for trust. We are looking for interesting things. You're going to feel some powerful attractions that come in. Pisces, romantic opportunities are going to be coming in. If you start to feel it, don't necessarily swim away. Don't do that. Feel the feels, see if you can sort it out, and see if you can make it right in that moment. You know, that is not a terrible thing. You guys like to run. What are the signs running from? Our water signs? Cancer, returning exes. Summertime is among us. This is Cancer season. We are getting into Cancer season in just a few days. And returning exes like to show up in the summer. Hey, you want to have a summer fling? No, I need safety and security. Scorpio, try not to be jealous. That is something you're going to have, these pangs of jealousy that come through. You're going to see people paying attention to others, and it's going to make you mad. Don't exhibit that. Just ride it out like a big wave that knocks you over on the beach. Pisces, idealization. And this is something that happens too. You meet a partner, you go, they are the most this I have ever experienced, and I cannot live without them. But then you swim away. So be careful about the idealization, and don't make promises that you can't keep with partners and connections over the weekend. So what can my water signs manipulate? Cancer, you can manipulate your vulnerability. So there may be some tears coming. We're going to talk about that if you're dating a Cancer. I hope Greg is watching. Scorpio, your patience is going to be something that you can manipulate. You can plunk your fist down on the table and say, I've had enough. Get to the point. Pisces, discernment. We just talked about that. I want you to make sure that if somebody wiggles into your world, they're floating in the pond next to you, that you don't like say, oh, you're fantastic, and then go, wait, they're not, and wiggle away. Don't ghost anybody, Pisces. It feels like you possibly could be ghosting people. Bonus section. What if you are dating one of these water signs? If you're dating a Cancer like me, provide reassurance. We love reassurance. We love being told everything's going to be okay. You're safe, secure. We've got money in the bank, food in the closet. Everything's fine. Let me give you a foot rub. That is something that Cancers love. They love to go to sleep, not worried about anything. Scorpios, if you're dating a Scorpio, be honest with them and put your guard up because they may throw some barbs at you. They got that big stinger on them. So just be careful. And if you're dating a Pisces, be supportive, but have a light hand with that support. Pisces, if they feel like you are becoming too much of a manager in the relationship, they will scoot right out of it. So just be very, very careful about that. So water signs winner this week is going to be Scorpio. Well done, Scorpio. And the water sign X alert is Cancers like me. So make sure the phone is not ringing. Check those text messages and maybe leave some of them on red. So that is it for our water signs for this weekend. Let's move it on up. We're going to look at these earth signs: Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Where are you guys? Drop it in the comments if you're watching this on the long play. The overall earth sign love conditions, relationship conditions. While everybody else is rushing toward romance, earth signs are asking about trust. Is this a solid foundation for me to get into? It's the quality control department of the zodiac. You guys are the underwriters because you want stability. You want things to grow out of a solid ground or a solid framework. Taurus, you guys are seeking consistency. Taurus, my grandmother was a Taurus, and consistency was king with her. She had her feet firmly planted on the ground. She did not fantasize. She did not play into frippery. And she wanted to feed you and make sure that you were safe and secure and staying in one place. Like, she wanted that. You guys continue to do that this weekend. That is what's coming in. You're looking at your partners and your relationships to make sure that there's consistency there. Virgo, you guys are analyzing everything. I am going to give a little bit of advice here. Put things on lists, pros and cons, good and bad, check and no check. I want you to put things on lists. I want you to borrow some of that Libra energy with discernment and make sure that you're analyzing everything, not on the fly. We still have some emotional effects that are digging into our earth signs. Make sure that you're looking at them and not making decisions based on an emotional flashpoint. Capricorn, you guys are looking for long-term potential. So what you're looking for is the consistency that Taurus has, the analyzing that Virgo is experiencing, and you guys are trying to discern whether this is a good thing or a bad thing in terms of relationships. Truly the underwriters of the zodiac for this weekend. So what's coming in for the signs Taurus? You have stable opportunities coming in. They are going to be highlighted, underlined, bold print for you. You're going to be able to see them. Stable opportunities will be presenting themselves, and you're going to recognize them like a native language speaker. Virgo, unexpected admirers are going to be rolling in to you. So don't be surprised. Don't let it show on your face. You can be a little bit surprised, but don't look like you are off your game, because that is where some of the creepy creeps come in. Capricorn, you guys are looking at serious prospects. So serious prospects can be coming in. You're gonna be grading really, really hard. Maybe lighten up a little bit. Maybe not quite the underwriting guidelines that you're going to step to the equation with typically. What do we need to hide from? Taurus, possessiveness. You guys, like I said, you like everybody to stay in the same space. You also like to guard your intellectual property, so to speak. My grandmother, who passed away a number of years ago, whenever I make sauce, I catch her out of the corner of my eye, standing in my sink. She's watching me. She's making me do it. She taught me how to cook, and she's watching me do it. She wants to make sure that I don't screw it up. So watch possessiveness, Taurus. You guys can kind of let that go for this weekend. So if your partner says, or an individual that you're working with or related with, if they say, hey, I've got to do something, say, no, there is no. I need you here right now. I need you involved. I need you here. Don't do that because it's going to spark up some arguments. Virgo, don't overthink. You guys always overthink. You're like 12 steps ahead. You think that it's smart a lot of times. It is. This weekend, it is not going to be a smart thing. Overthinking is just going to make you kind of spin in space. You're going to be like a cyclone and stuck in the middle of it. So don't do that. Capricorn, your emotional walls, get rid of those. Get rid of them. It's okay to have an emotion once in a while, for Pete's sake. So Taurus, what you can manipulate is your patience as well. So for Scorpio friends, Virgo, you can manipulate confidence in others. I want you to manipulate confidence in others. So if you get someone who steps to you, surprise, surprise, and they shock you, you can give it back a little bit. I'm going to say it. Chris Voss's book, Never Split the Difference. You guys should be listening or reading to that this weekend. Capricorn, manipulate your accessibility this weekend. If you can't be wholly available to an individual, step entirely out of the equation. So you can't be working on a construction project while you're talking to your beloved on the phone. Really, I want you to give 100% to the people that are in your relationship, or no access for now. Kind of split that up. So bonus section, what do you do if you are dating a Taurus? Be reliable. Be reliable for the Taurus. That's all they're looking for. That is their main component. They want stability, reliability, predictability. So they're going to want that from you. If you're dating a Virgo, pay attention to the details. And if you're dating a Capricorn, respect their goals. Respect them. If they don't have any, just let them do whatever they're going to do. The Earth sign winner this week is definitely Capricorn. It seems like they've got some fun lessons to learn, some discernment. The Earth sign X alert, who's coming in as an X? Virgo, it's you. You guys are going to be having some X is calling you up. So just be mindful of that. So again, recapping, most likely to hear from an X. Cancer, Aries, and Gemini, you guys are going to have some repeat offenders. Those that are most likely to start something new, Leo, Sagittarius, and Libra, most likely to need a red flag check, Pisces, Gemini, and Virgo. So guys, I hope this helps you navigate your relationships and dating life for the weekend. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you've got some hypes left, hype this video for me. I don't get nearly enough hypes because I don't ask about it. I don't ask you guys to do it. So hook it up, give me some hypes over there, and let me know what you think about this tonight at 9 p.m. when Barney and I will be live for Love in the End Times, where we're going to talk about the guy winners of the week, the guy losers of the week, out of our celebrity and pop culture people. We're also going to be taking questions from you guys. We've got a huge list of questions, and we are stoked to hear more from you. We've got so many of them. So I am going to see you guys later. If you are new here, please give me a like and go check out my website, fortunecookiestarot.com. You can see there's a link where you can go check out some of the new readings that I have available for you this summer. So thanks so much, guys. I will see you in the future.